The Sopranos redefined television, setting the standard for complex storytelling and unforgettable characters. Over its six-season run from 1999 to 2007, the show became a cultural touchstone, with James Gandolfini's iconic portrayal of Tony Soprano leaving a lasting mark on TV history. But what happened to the cast members after the series ended? Now, in 2025, the stars of The Sopranos have taken varied paths. Some have continued their careers in Hollywood, while others have faced personal struggles, heartbreaking losses, and unexpected challenges. Let's take a look at where the cast is now, and how their lives have evolved since The Sopranos wrapped up more than 2 decades ago. James Gandolfini was born on September 18, 1961, and became legendary for his portrayal of Tony Soprano in The Sopranos, 1999, at 38. The character, a ruthless mob boss struggling with mental health issues, was both charismatic and terrifying, a complex representation of a man torn between crime and family. Off-screen, Gandolfini's own battles mirrored his character's turmoil. Despite his fame, he had a rocky personal life, punctuated by multiple failed marriages and relationships marred by infidelity. His temper was infamous, with accounts of on-set rages and clashes with co-stars. His love of alcohol and food led to severe weight fluctuations and health problems, with reports of binge drinking during the series' run. Gandolfini also struggled with depression, a mental health battle that remained largely unspoken until after his sudden death at 51 from a heart attack on June 19, 2013. His passing was a shocking loss, but also underscored the heavy personal toll his public persona had exacted. Frank Vincent, born on April 15, 1937, gained fame as Phil Leotardo, the cold, vengeful mob boss in The Sopranos, 2004, at 67. His character's ruthless pursuit of power made him a standout villain. In real life, Vincent had a career that was equally filled with intensity and hard edges. His career was marked by critical acclaim but also struggles with typecasting. Known for his role in Goodfellas, 1990, Vincent's off-screen persona was often intertwined with his tough guy image. His personal life, however, was far from the glamorous lifestyle his on-screen roles suggested. Vincent faced financial struggles, and his relationship with his ex-wife and children was strained, partly due to his workaholic tendencies. His later years were marked by health issues, including a heart surgery that led to his death on September 13, 2017 at 80. Though respected in Hollywood, his legacy is a blend of his professional success and the quieter personal struggles he faced. Tony Soprano was born on July 24, 1942, and played the superstitious Paulie Walnuts Gualtieri in The Sopranos, 1999, at 57, a role that blended humor with menace. Known for his tough guy persona, Soprano's real life was anything but easy. Before acting, he spent years involved in criminal activities, including multiple arrests and prison sentences. He claimed that his association with the mafia was part of his street cred, which translated to his tough guy image on screen. Soprano was, however, more than just a tough exterior. He was known to have a volatile temper and a history of volatile personal relationships. His career, while successful, had its ups and downs, with him being almost typecast due to his history. His personal life, particularly a messy divorce and strained relationships with his children, added to his tortured persona. Soprano's death on July 8, 2022 at 79 was preceded by years of battling with his health, a reflection of his wild and tumultuous life. Tom Aldridge, born February 28, 1928, played Hugh DeAngelis, Carmela Soprano's mild-mannered father, in The Sopranos, 2000, at 72. Though Aldridge's character was a calming influence amid the Soprano family chaos, his real-life persona was far from serene. With a career that spanned decades, Aldridge was known for his theater work and television roles, but his personal life was not without its hardships. A perfectionist on stage, Aldridge's dedication often put a strain on his family, leading to rumors of a failed marriage and strained family ties. His later years were marked by his battle with lymphoma, a struggle that he kept largely private. The disease eventually took his life on July 22, 2011 at 83, but not before he had cemented his reputation as one of the most respected character actors of his generation. Aldridge's passing marked the end of an era, not just in The Sopranos, but in his long, storied career. Suzanne Shepard, born October 31, 1934, portrayed Mary DeAngelis, Carmela's mother, in The Sopranos, 2000, at age 66. Mary was the embodiment of old-school Italian-American values, frequently clashing with Carmela's more modern approach to family life. Shepard's portrayal added a layer of tension to the family dynamic, a sharp contrast to the rest of the Soprano clan. However, Shepard's career wasn't without its dark side. She was known for her fiercely independent nature, but her personal life was riddled with secrecy and tension. Throughout her career, Shepard faced a series of personal battles, including failed marriages, and she was a heavy drinker, often turning to alcohol to cope with her internal turmoil. In the later years of her life, her withdrawal from the public eye deepened. Her struggles with alcoholism, which she never fully overcame, were only whispered about by her closest friends, adding a tragic element to her career. Shepard passed away on November 17, 2023, aged 89, having lived a life of quiet, but undeniable, internal conflict. Nancy Marshon, born on June 19, 1928, earned critical acclaim for her portrayal of Livia Soprano, Tony's manipulative mother, in The Sopranos, 1999, at 71. The role was one of Marshon's most famous, depicting a woman whose toxic emotional manipulation deeply affected her son. Marshon's own life was steeped in its own dramas. A successful actress in theater and television, she had a complicated and often combative relationship with her peers and colleagues. Her later years were marked by declining health as she battled lung cancer, a struggle she faced privately but which affected her work. Her career, while filled with accolades, also faced criticism for the emotional toll her roles took on her. Marshon's death on June 18, 2000, just as The Sopranos was beginning to make waves, was a tragedy that left a gap in the show. Her passing, at 71, marked the end of an era for the actress, and the role of Livia, so central to the series, had to be recast. Peter Bogdanovich, born July 30, 1939, played Dr. Elliot Kupferberg in The Sopranos, 2000, at age 61. A character meant to provide comic relief with his neurotic behaviors, Dr. Kupferberg's mental struggles mirrored those of the show's protagonist, Tony Soprano. Off-screen, Bogdanovich's life was as dramatic as his roles. A brilliant filmmaker, he is best known for his work in cinema, but his personal life was filled with scandal. His relationship with Playboy model Dorothy Stratton ended in a devastating tragedy when she was murdered by her estranged husband. This loss haunted Bogdanovich for years, and his career, once at its peak, faltered after this tragedy. His relationship with actress Sybil Shepherd was also highly publicized, and the two became notorious for their tumultuous affair. Bogdanovich's later years were marked by estrangement from Hollywood circles, where he was increasingly seen as a relic of an earlier, more scandalous era. He passed away on January 6, 2022, aged 82, after a battle with heart disease. Michael Imperioli, born March 26, 1966, portrayed Christopher Moltisanti in The Sopranos, 1999, at age 33. Christopher, Tony's protege, was volatile, addicted, and deeply flawed, and Imperioli's portrayal of the character earned him an Emmy. But Imperioli's life mirrored his on-screen role in ways few fans know. He struggled with addiction for years, facing a rocky personal life that included several failed relationships and brief stints in rehab. The actor's volatile nature sometimes led to public clashes with co-stars and producers, and his reputation as someone difficult to work with became part of the Hollywood gossip mill. His role as a troubled artist was reflected in his personal endeavors as well, as he began writing and directing, channeling his tumultuous experiences into creative outlets. Despite these personal battles, Imperioli managed to carve out a successful career. Now at 59, Imperioli is still active in the entertainment industry but remains deeply connected to his advocacy for addiction recovery and mental health. Edie Falco, born July 5, 1963, played Carmela Soprano in The Sopranos, 1999, at age 36. Carmela, Tony's wife, was a complex character caught between her loyalty to her family and her own moral dilemmas. Falco's portrayal of the conflicted wife of a mob boss earned her critical acclaim and multiple awards. However, off-screen, Falco faced a series of personal challenges. Her battle with alcoholism was publicly acknowledged, and she struggled with the pressures of fame. Her relationships, notably with ex-husband and actor Chris Albrecht, were marked by volatility, with the media often covering their tumultuous breakup. Despite her personal demons, Falco has become a figure of resilience in the industry, known for her commitment to sobriety and advocacy for addiction recovery. Yet, her candid interviews about the price of fame and her struggles to maintain stability in her personal life often revealed the undercurrent of pain that ran through her career. At 61 in 2025, she remains a beloved figure in Hollywood, though her journey has been far from easy. Steven Van Zandt, born November 22, 1950, played Silvio Dante, Tony Soprano's loyal consigliere, in The Sopranos, 1999, at age 49. Silvio's calm demeanor and sharp suits made him a fan favorite, but Van Zandt's own life was far from the composed character he portrayed. A member of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, Van Zandt's fame in music was often overshadowed by his equally successful acting career. However, his personal life was marred by substance abuse and his struggle with managing multiple public personas. Van Zandt's marriage to actress Maureen Van Zandt was under constant scrutiny, with rumors of infidelity and emotional distance making the rounds in tabloids. His battle with addiction was well documented, and though he eventually overcame it, his off-screen behavior was often unpredictable. Stories about his clashes with show creators and his volatile temperament behind the scenes made him a difficult figure to work with. At 74 in 2025, Van Zandt remains a key figure in music and entertainment, but his legacy is intertwined with both his triumphs and tumultuous personal battles. Jaime Lin Sigler was born on May 15, 1981, and at 18, she took on the role of Meadow Soprano in The Sopranos, 1999. Meadow's evolution from a rebellious teenager to a college-bound adult mirrored Sigler's own struggles, but her real-life challenges were far more daunting. At the height of her success, Sigler was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a diagnosis she kept private for years before bravely revealing it to the world. Behind the glamour, however, Sigler's personal life was marred by tumultuous relationships, including a high-profile breakup with a former boyfriend, which led to an emotional spiral. Her marriage to a professional baseball player ended in a bitter divorce, with accusations of infidelity and emotional abuse swirling around. On set, she was known for her difficult behavior, reportedly feuding with co-stars and even taking issue with the direction of her character. By 2025, at 44, Sigler has become an advocate for MS, but her health continues to challenge her, and her career, once soaring, remains stalled despite efforts to reclaim her spotlight. Robert Adler, born March 2, 1985, played A.J. Soprano in The Sopranos, 1999, at age 14. A.J.'s troubled adolescence and rebellious behavior mirrored Adler's own life struggles. During his time on the show, Adler was involved in a major scandal when he was arrested for robbery, leading to public scrutiny and a tarnished reputation. The arrest was just one in a string of bad decisions Adler made during his youth, which included heavy partying and run-ins with the law. Despite his role on The Sopranos, Adler's acting career stalled after the series ended, and he found himself drifting into obscurity. His personal life continued to be marked by instability, with strained relationships with his family and allegations of self-destructive behavior. Sigler's attempt to distance himself from Hollywood and rebuild his life outside of acting was hindered by his past mistakes, and he spent years grappling with public perception. Now at 40, Sigler has mostly stayed out of the spotlight, focusing on other pursuits, though his past continues to linger as part of his complicated legacy. Lorraine Bracco was born on October 2, 1954, and at 45, she portrayed Dr. Jennifer Melfi, Tony's therapist, in The Sopranos, 1999. However, her off-screen life was far from as orderly as her character's professional demeanor. Bracco's career suffered a series of blows after The Sopranos, marked by diminishing roles in films and a reputation for being difficult to work with. Her personal life was fraught with scandal, including a high-profile divorce from actor Daniel Day-Lewis, with whom she had an affair that sparked a media frenzy. Bracco also faced public backlash for her involvement in several failed business ventures, one of which involved a disastrous foray into the world of skincare that was later criticized for its ineffectiveness. The actress's battles with depression and addiction were widely publicized, with Bracco's history of substance abuse only adding to her troubled image. At 71, Bracco has largely stepped away from the limelight, now focusing on smaller roles in mental health advocacy. Ida Terturo was born on September 25, 1962, and at 38, she became Janice Soprano, Tony's manipulative sister, in The Sopranos, 2000. Janice's erratic behavior and emotional volatility were mirrored in Terturo's off-screen life, which was full of drama and scandal. While she played the role of a troubled woman caught in a cycle of toxic relationships, Terturo's personal life was anything but stable. Known for her fiery temper, she had several volatile relationships that ended in bitter public divorces, including a highly publicized feud with a former partner over shared custody of their child. Terturo's career was also marred by controversies with directors who accused her of being difficult to work with due to her perfectionism and demands. She was often labeled as high maintenance, which limited her opportunities in both film and television. Rumors of substance abuse also surfaced, with sources alleging that Terturo struggled with alcoholism during the filming of The Sopranos. As of 2025, at 62, she continues to work, but her presence in Hollywood is mostly minimal. Dominic Kanese was born on February 24, 1931, and at 68, he brought the character of Junior Soprano to life in The Sopranos, 1999. As Tony's aging, scheming uncle, Kanese played a role that was both tragic and menacing, a portrayal that was lauded but also underscored the actor's own struggles with typecasting. Off-screen, Kanese's career took a nosedive after The Sopranos, despite his impressive resume in both theater and television. His personal life was tumultuous, with multiple failed marriages and rumors of infidelity that plagued his reputation. In his later years, Kanese was involved in several legal battles, including a highly publicized lawsuit filed by an ex-wife over unpaid alimony, which further tarnished his already frail image. Despite this, he found solace in music, recording several albums of Italian and American songs. But even this success was marred by allegations of financial mismanagement. By 2025, at 94, Kanese continues to live out of the public eye, remaining involved in the entertainment industry but as an increasingly obscure figure. Joseph R. Ganesci, born on February 15, 1959, portrayed Vito Spatafore in The Sopranos, 1999, at 40. As a mobster secretly living a gay life, Vito's arc took a dark turn that shocked audiences, leading to his tragic end. While Ganesci's performance added complexity to a character often underestimated, his personal life mirrored Vito's own struggles. Before landing the iconic role, Ganesci was no stranger to scandal. In the early 90s, he was involved in multiple violent incidents, including a brutal assault at a nightclub that nearly ended his acting career. However, his most shocking scandal came years later, when he was allegedly linked to a notorious mob family, though the details were never publicly confirmed. Personal life misfortunes only compounded Ganesci's struggles. His tumultuous relationships with ex-wives and accusations of financial mismanagement added to his public reputation as volatile and unpredictable. By 2025, at 66, he has largely retreated from the limelight, focusing on smaller roles and directing, but his past continues to haunt him in whispered conversations around Hollywood. Steve Scarpa was born on September 3, 1958, and at 42, he portrayed Bobby Bacala Bacalieri in The Sopranos, 2000. Scarpa's portrayal of the gentle, loyal mobster made him a fan favorite, but his real-life career did not follow the same upward trajectory. Despite his success on the show, Scarpa's post-Sopranos career was littered with disappointments, including a series of failed film roles and constant struggles to escape the shadow of his beloved character. His personal life was equally troubled. Scarpa's marriage was strained by his public infidelity, and rumors of multiple extramarital affairs caused tension between him and his wife, leading to a high-profile separation. His battles with weight and diet issues were heavily scrutinized by the media, and Scarpa's difficulty in maintaining relationships with co-stars was well known. In the years following The Sopranos, he became notorious for his difficult temperament and his self-indulgent lifestyle. Now 66, Scarpa has turned to podcasting, but his reputation remains tainted by the scandals that followed him. Drea de Matteo was born on January 19, 1972, and at 27, she played Adriana La Cerva in The Sopranos, 1999. De Matteo's portrayal of the tragic character, whose innocence was slowly consumed by the mob world, mirrored her real-life struggles. While her Emmy-winning performance garnered attention, De Matteo's personal life was a constant source of tabloid fodder. Her turbulent relationship with actor Michael Sportelli, which ended in a bitter, public breakup, took a toll on her career. De Matteo's path was often marked by her inability to escape the typecasting that plagued her, with many seeing her as nothing more than a troubled woman caught in toxic relationships. Her own personal demons included struggles with alcohol and a series of failed romantic relationships, one of which involved accusations of domestic abuse that surfaced during a high-profile court case. By 2025, at 53, De Matteo has largely disappeared from the public eye, focused on raising her children while staying away from the Hollywood spotlight. John Ventimiglia, born July 17, 1963, brought the character of Artie Buccio to life in The Sopranos, 1999, at 36. The character's warmth and naivety often contrasted with the mobsters surrounding him, but Ventimiglia's personal life was far more chaotic. Known for a fiery temper, his off-screen behavior once led to a public altercation with a director on set, resulting in a suspension from a major production. In 2006, Ventimiglia was arrested for DUI, which became a flashpoint for his ongoing issues with substance abuse, something he had privately struggled with for years. His failed marriage to a fellow actress was a subject of public gossip, with rumors of domestic conflicts, jealousy, and infidelity that led to a very bitter divorce. Adding to his troubled history, Ventimiglia became embroiled in a scandal involving gambling debts and accusations of financial misconduct that strained his career for years. By 2025, at 61, he has been largely relegated to smaller TV roles, with little hope of reclaiming the stardom The Sopranos had afforded him. Jerry Adler, born February 4, 1929, played Hesh Rabkin, the pragmatic Jewish advisor to Tony Soprano in The Sopranos, 1999 to 2007, at 70. The wise, no-nonsense character was beloved by fans, but Adler's off-screen life was filled with hidden darkness. Though his career in theater and television was successful, Adler's personal life was a maze of betrayals, secrets, and family drama. In the 80s, he was at the center of a scandal involving a controversial business deal with a mob-connected financier that nearly ruined his career. The affair was messy, involving lawsuits and claims of financial mismanagement, but the public fallout was carefully managed. However, his marriage was far from the image of stability it appeared to be. His wife's unexpected death in the 90s left Adler devastated, and rumors of his own secret affairs during their marriage swirled for years. By 2025, at 96, Adler has largely withdrawn from public life, living quietly in his retirement while remaining a respected figure within the industry, though whispers of his tumultuous past still circulate. Vincent Curatola, born August 16, 1953, played Johnny Sacramone, a New York mob boss in The Sopranos, 1999, at 46. Known for his chilling portrayal of a calculating and ambitious gangster, Curatola's own life was filled with secrets and scandals. A family man in the public eye, Curatola's personal life was less stable than it appeared. In the early aughts, he became embroiled in a bitter custody battle over his children, which revealed deeply unsettling details about his private relationships. Whispers about his involvement in shady business dealings, particularly linked to real estate scams, circulated for years but were never substantiated. His strained marriage was a public spectacle, culminating in an acrimonious divorce that drew further attention to his personal life. Curatola also faced accusations of inappropriate behavior on set, with rumors of him trying to exert power over other actors to influence script changes in his favor. In 2025, at 71, Curatola's public image remains untarnished, but the shadows of his past linger, keeping him from fully embracing a return to the spotlight. Federico Castelluchio, born April 29, 1964, portrayed Furio Giunta, the loyal enforcer with a tortured soul in The Sopranos, 2000 to 2002, at 36. The character's unrequited love for Carmela Soprano brought a depth to the show that resonated with fans, yet Castelluccio's off-screen life was filled with dramatic highs and lows. While the actor himself avoided major scandals, his years following The Sopranos were marred by rumors of a volatile temperament that led to his eventual departure from the show. Some crew members recalled tense, off-camera confrontations that became infamous within the industry. His personal life was no less chaotic. He was briefly involved with a high-profile Italian actress, but their whirlwind romance ended in scandal, with allegations of emotional manipulation and controlling behavior. By 2025, at 61, Castelluccio has distanced himself from acting and focuses on his art, but the dark undertones of his past continue to follow him, with whispers of legal troubles just beneath the surface. Yanowitz, born on May 25, 1980, played Fin DiTrolio, mezzo-soprano's boyfriend in The Sopranos at 19. His character provided an outsider's perspective on the Soprano family's violent world, but Yanowitz's role was relatively minor compared to the show's stars. In terms of career, Yanowitz has remained consistent in securing roles in smaller television and film projects, but nothing close to the fame of his Sopranos co-stars. Off-screen, Yanowitz's life has been marked by a series of low-key personal struggles. Though he avoided major scandals, there have been whispers about his troubled relationships and a string of short-lived romances. His most significant personal turmoil came after he was allegedly involved in a high-profile public dispute with a former colleague over a role that he was controversially passed over for. Despite these setbacks, Yanowitz at 44 has managed to maintain a relatively low profile, focusing on his acting career, although he continues to be overshadowed by more prominent figures from the series. Who is your favorite character from The Sopranos? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.